Have you ever felt a pain so deep it seemed like it would never leave? A loss that hangs over you, a shadow that follows you through your days and nights? If you have, then this story is for you. It's a story about a man named Ayan, a man whose heart was filled with scars that no one could see. Ayan had lost his beloved younger sister Lena in a sudden, tragic accident. Years had passed, but the ache in his chest was as real as it was on day one. It felt like a constant, heavy weight, an emptiness that nothing could fill. Every morning he would wake up with that familiar knot in his stomach. Every night, memories of Lena would dance through his mind, replaying moments he could never get back. He tried everything to escape the suffocating grief. He buried himself in his work, hoping the long hours would numb the pain. He filled his evenings with loud music and forced laughter with friends, pretending he was okay. But it was all just a temporary distraction. The moment he was alone, the silence would scream, and the shadow of his sorrow would return darker than ever. The pain was always there, a relentless companion he couldn't shake. He felt trapped, lost in a maze of his own grief, with no map and no way out. One afternoon, while wandering aimlessly through the city, trying to clear his head, Ayan found himself on a quiet, unfamiliar street. Tucked away between two larger buildings was a small, charming bookshop he had never noticed before. It looked old, almost magical, with a hand-painted sign above the door that read, "Stories that Heal." A flicker of curiosity sparked within him. He didn't know why, but he felt an unexplainable pull, a gentle nudge to go inside. He hesitated for a moment, then pushed the door open. A little bell chimed, announcing his arrival. The air inside smelled of old paper and something warm, like cinnamon and comfort. The shop was filled to the ceiling with books of all shapes and sizes. Behind the counter stood an elderly man with a warm smile and eyes that seemed to hold a universe of stories. "Welcome," the man said softly. "I've been waiting for you." Ayan was taken aback. "Waiting for me?" he asked, confused. I just happened to walk by." The old man simply nodded, his kind eyes twinkling. "Sometimes," he said, his voice gentle and wise, "the stories find the person who needs them the most." He then reached under the counter and pulled out a small, leather-bound book. It looked ancient, the cover worn smooth by countless hands. He offered it to Ayan. "Read this tonight," he urged, "and listen. Let your heart speak." Ayan took the book, his fingers tracing the worn edges. It felt strangely warm in his hands. He didn't know what to expect, but something inside him, a small hopeful part he thought was long gone, told him to trust this moment. That evening, back in his quiet apartment, Ayan sat with the book. He opened it, and the first page began a story about a young man named Kieran. As Ayan read, he felt a strange connection. Kieran's story mirrored his own in so many ways. He had lost everything that mattered to him, his family, his home, and all his dreams for the future. Kieran wandered through the world, a ghost of his former self, completely weighed down by his sorrow. He was utterly convinced that happiness was a chapter of his life that was closed forever. He believed he would never smile again, never feel joy again. But then one day, his journey led him to a small village where he met a young child. This child, Kieran learned, had also experienced a devastating loss. Yet, despite the pain in the child's past, they smiled. Not just a faint smile, but a bright, genuine smile that reached their eyes. Kieran was baffled. "How?" he asked the child. "How can you still smile after everything you've been through?" The child looked at him with an innocence that held profound wisdom. "Pain is a part of life," the child said simply. "But it doesn't have to be your whole story. You can carry it. You can let it teach you. It can guide you to be braver, kinder, and to love more deeply." As Ayan read those words, something inside him shifted. It was like a key turning in a lock he didn't even know was there. A single powerful thought clicked into place in his heart. All this time he had been running from his grief, fighting it, trying to bury it. He had treated his pain like an enemy, a prison he had to escape. But the story of Kieran and the child showed him another way. He realized he had never truly let himself feel it, never allowed it to be a part of him. He hadn't let it transform him. The story taught him that pain wasn't a life sentence. It wasn't a cage. It was a teacher. It was a compass. From that day on, Ayan decided to stop running. He started small. He remembered how much Lena had loved children, so he began volunteering at a local orphanage. He would spend his weekends there, not trying to forget his pain, but carrying it with him. He shared stories with the children, listened to their dreams, and offered them the comfort he himself had longed for. He saw pieces of Lena's light in their laughter. He felt a part of her spirit in their resilience, and with every smile he received, with every little hand that held his, the heavy weight in his chest began to feel a little bit lighter. It wasn't gone, but it was changing. Years passed. Ayan continued his work with the children, and in giving, he received more than he could have ever imagined. He came to understand something incredibly profound about healing. Healing doesn't mean the pain disappears. It doesn't mean you forget. Healing is about changing the way you carry your pain. It's about letting it carve out a space in your heart for more compassion, more purpose, and more love. By helping others navigate their own darkness, Ayan found his own light. He found a reason to live fully again, not in spite of his loss, but because of it. He learned that his love for Lena didn't have to be a source of constant sorrow. It could be a source of infinite strength. And every single day he would remind himself of the most important lesson he ever learned. Healing begins the moment you have the courage to face your pain. Thank you for joining us on this journey. We hope this story brought a little light into your day. If it touched your heart, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel for new motivational stories every day. And make sure to hit that bell icon so you never miss a story that could inspire your life. We'll see you in the next one.